moving on to the NFC North saga. Obviously, the Detroit Lions, they are eliminated. Very surprising there. We are going into the last week of the season, and the defending number one seed from last year in the NFC will not be partaking in the playoffs. They are heading to Chicago to face the Bears, who have clinched the NFC North, and with a win here today, will clinch the number 2 seed and guarantee themselves at least 2 home games, of course, assuming they win the first. But with that being said, the Bears are going to be 2-point favorites at home, and the over-under is 50.5. Detroit is plus 120 on the money line, and Chicago is minus 140. Raider Jim, your thoughts, Detroit at Chicago?
Yeah, first of all, I mean, another head scratcher. You expected at the beginning of the year, I expected to see the Lions in the playoffs. I expected to see the Chiefs in the playoffs. I did not expect the Steelers to be hanging around this long and maybe end up in the playoffs. So again, proving one thing as a fact, I don't know what I'm talking about. So keep that in mind as you listen to the podcast. Anyway, the Detroit Lions, you said it, they're playing for nothing. The Chicago Bears, 2 seed, and that is big. I'm kind of surprised that they are only a 2.5-point favorite at home or 2-point favorite at home for this one, but that's okay with me. I'm going to take the Bears money line on this one, and that is because both sides of the Lions, offense and defense, the linemen are beat up. These guys are being held together with a lot of gauze and tape and knee braces and things like that. They have non-starters that are going to be playing. And also the Lions secondary is also banged up at this point. So the Bears should have a fairly easy time offensively. We know the Bear defense is going to possibly force some turnovers. And with that said, I just see the Bears. Give me the money line, because at 2 points, I'm not going to go 2 points on that, but give me the Bears on the money line. Over under 50.5. I'm going to go under because I don't think Detroit's going to be scoring very much at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on the Chicago side of things. I think they do cover. I think they win this probably by a field goal or more. Obviously, the Lions want to spoil as much as possible for their old friend Ben Johnson, and again, all it would really do would drop them down to a 3 seed. Wouldn't be devastating, although they would obviously prefer that 2 seed. At the same time, though, you do wonder, if you're a Bears fan, would you maybe prefer to play the Rams rather than the Packers? I don't know. Again, just things, the way the Rams are playing right now versus the way the Packers have played the Bears, because the Packers aren't playing very well either. But that won't really be an issue. I think you have to go out to win or to play to get the highest seed always, no matter what.
Agree.
Chicago does get the job done. My concern with Chicago is now I think it was the first play of the game on Sunday night. You had a pick 6 or a fumble. I don't know how it was scored, but anyways, defensive turnover, pick 6, strip 6, whatever you want to call it. And that's what Chicago has done. They didn't get a single turnover the rest of the game, and they could not stop the Niners. I think that's the key for the Bears. They have to get multiple turnovers, or else they have to score 55 points. And
right.
Their offense is good. I just don't think they're going to be able to keep up with that. Now, with that being said, Detroit, a good offense, but this is a team I think that's just, they're ready to kind of get rolling. They're ready to turn the page on this season. This is a team that I think, look, Jahmyr Gibbs isn't going anywhere. Jared Goff's not going anywhere. Amon-Ra St. Brown's not going anywhere. Aiden Hutchinson's not going anywhere. This is a team that's built to compete going forward. I think they just kind of want to get through this season, get on to next year, kind of focus on, righting the ship, if you will. And who knows, maybe kind of going back under the radar as they were kind of before, a year or two ago, before everyone kind of, said, uh-oh, here come the Lions. So give me the Bears minus 2.5. I think they get the job done over a Lions team that just wants to get be done with the season. And then I think we go over 50.5. I think we're going to see some points being scored. Caleb Williams, very, very good quarterback. He's starting to figure it out. I think Ben Johnson has helped him come a tremendous way. The wide receiver room is very, very good. Luther Burden, obviously, I don't know his status after going down on the last play of the game. But I really like Chicago. They have impressed me. Their defense, however, they're going to need to force turnovers, or they're going to need to somehow find a way to, channel their inner 1985 Bears and figure it out. Although I think turnovers are going to be your better option in that one. But I think a very good game. Hopefully Detroit will, show up ready to play. Now we dive into the 3 games where you won't have to question the motives, or at least the wants of these teams, as these are all pretty much not win and you're in situations, but win and you are in a much better position than the team you beat. How about that? The Carolina Panthers are heading to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is your first of 2 Saturday games. Both of the next 2 games I will be talking about are on Saturday, are in chronological order. Tampa Bay is going to be 2.5-point favorites at home, with the over-under sitting at 44. Carolina plus 120 on the money line, while Tampa is minus 140. Raider Jim, the NFC South is kind of up for grabs. Again, the Buccaneers can still win, but not make the playoffs. But let's just pretend this is all for all the marbles. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Now, first thing you got to consider is it's supposed to be showers possibly in Tampa Bay. So that's going to make hanging on to the ball tricky. If you go back a week or so ago, it was the 21st of December, right before Christmas, these 2 teams played, and they put up 43 points in that game. Carolina walked away with the victory by 3 points, 23-20. And I have a feeling it's going to be the same result this time. You kind of touched on it before we started talking about the games. Since October 26th, Tampa Bay's record is 1 win, 7 losses. And that speaks to the performance that you're going to see on Sunday, because how they're hanging around is beyond me, because they have just tanked terribly. And Carolina, they haven't been world beaters, but they've been inconsistent. But when they put it together, they're putting together pretty good games. I think you're going to see the same output that you saw on the 21st of December. I like Carolina in this one. Give me +3 on that, and I'll take Carolina. The over-under 44, give me under on that as well, because with the rain and just given the productivity of the 2 teams, we're not going to see anything over that.
Yeah, I see it the same way, at least on the spread as well. And I'll be just completely honest. My notes right here, it says, who wins the South? Who cares? 2 mediocre teams. Give me the points and move on. That's kind of the way I look at it. Carolina, flip a coin. They could look like arguably one of, the way we looked at the Lions a few years back, like an up and coming team. And then they could look like the worst team in this division overall. And really everything in between. And you can probably say that about Tampa. Maybe not so much on the good side of it. It's been a while since we've really been impressed with Tampa. I probably got to go back to September if we're being honest, and I couldn't even remember. I mean, I just know when the Eagles played them, they were hot. But that was like week 3. So again, long time ago. I don't know. I think Carolina, my only concern is it does seem that whenever the bright lights are on them, and this isn't technically a primetime game, but this is a standalone game. All eyes are going to be on this game on Saturday. It'll be the only game on at the time. Carolina seems to kind of turn into pumpkins when that happens. It would be my only concern. But again, you have a team like Tampa Bay who have been pumpkins for the past, 2 months? I mean, going back to the pumpkin holiday. So give me Carolina +3. I am going to take the over, though. I don't know. I just think that we could see maybe something goofy. Who knows? Maybe even see a pick 6 or special teams touchdown. I think 2 pretty mediocre defenses. And, the weather, 2 southeastern teams, I feel like they probably play in the rain enough. They should be okay holding on to that pigskin. We'll see, though. But I do like the over 44. Once again, that is your first Saturday game. I unfortunately don't have the time in front of me, but you're all big boys and girls. You can figure it out. But that game will be on Saturday.